Hi friends, I wanted to show you how to create a program in your calculator for finding the radius of a circle using the distance formula. So to do this, we're going to start by clicking on Program in our graphing calculator, and we're going to arrow over to New, and we're going to hit Enter on number 1 for creating a new. What I did is I labeled my program RAD for radius, and then CIRC for circle. You can name it whatever is going to make sense to you. Okay. And then the first thing we have to do is we have to prompt it for our inputs. So if you hit the program button, arrow over to the input output menu, we want to select option number 2 for prompt. And what we want to do is we want it to prompt us for the inputs that we're going to put into our literal equation. So the variables that I used were h for the x coordinate of the center of my circle, k for the y-coordinate of the center of my circle, x, oops, x for the x-coordinate of any point on the outside of my circle, and y for the y-coordinate of any coordinate pair on the outside of my circle. So now that I have my prompts in, I'm going to tell the calculator what to do with my prompts. So I want to do second square root. And then, depending on the version of the calculator you have, this may look different. I'm doing 2 sets of parentheses. I need all of the things I want to take the square root of in parentheses, and then I need a set of parentheses for my x coordinates and a set of parentheses for my y coordinates. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do alpha x minus, or alpha h minus alpha x, and then square that, and then add that to alpha k minus alpha y squared, and have my set of parentheses. And then I want to hit store. And since h, k, x, and y are already taken as variables, I'm going to store that as r for radius. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to program, and I'm going to do input output, and I want to display. Now, if you want to, you can just be very simple and you can just say alpha r, and then it's just going to report your radius. If you don't want to be super simple and you want to have a little bit more context to what it's displaying for you, you can do alpha plus for quotations, and you can do, we can actually do a second alpha to do alpha lock, RADIUS second math equals, and then I can end my parentheses, or not parentheses, quotation, and then I can do a comma, and then I can do my R. And then that'll say radius equals, and it'll display whatever your radius is. It's really up to you. You do not need all of that in there. You can just do R, no problem. So I'll show you what that looks like. Just R. It just won't tell you what you're displaying. So this would be our program. To use your program, you would go to Program, Execute 1, okay, and then hit Enter. And then it'll ask for H. Remember, H is the x coordinate of your center of your circle. So say that the center of your circle is at 3, 4, and then maybe your x coordinate is 3, and your y coordinate on the outside of the circle is 6. And then it will tell you that your radius is 2. Now it just says 2. We would need to know that that's the radius. If you want it to say radius equals 2, you would follow the prompts that I showed you for the quotation radius equals, and then it would say radius equals 2. And now you have the radius of your circle. You can utilize this program for multiple Khan Academy modules, and then you can also utilize this for when we're working on some of our other conic sections as well. It'll come in handy for our parabolas. So hopefully that was a helpful tutorial on how to create a program in your calculator for finding the radius of a circle when you're given the center and a point on the outside of your circle.